Good morning. Okay, what is going on here now? I don't know. I got no clue. This stuff, I'll tell you what, some days. All right, I'm a little ticked off this morning. Morning, old guy.
Morning, Mr. Shroom.
And how is you doing today?
Oh, I don't know. Twinge in the back, weather change it. Well, weather staying the way it's staying, windy and rainy, and my body's just not happy this morning.
My wife got me mad this morning at about 5 minutes to 7, and I'm still mad 2 hours later.
Oh no.
We were sitting down, we were talking that morning coffee. She's getting ready to leave for work. And she's telling me she had an evaluation yesterday. And when they do an evaluation, the evaluator comes in and spends the whole day with them to evaluate how they do, the entire day with with the kids. And down through the thing, the wife's looking at it, at the end of the day, and she's got there's a scale 1 to 5. It's all fours with 1 3. Okay. And first thing it does is she asks, well, what's that 3 for? Well, participation in other than classroom activities. And the wife said, she sat there and looked at her and said, what do you mean other than, well, like this project we do and this project we do, whether you're involved in the planning, whether you go and you attend them, whether you do, and the wife goes, I haven't missed one of those in one of these events in 10 years. I go to all of them. And the lady looked at her and says, well, according to so and so, you missed this one event quite constantly. And the wife looks at her and goes, the last time I missed that event was about 25 years ago when my son couldn't stay by himself, or I didn't have anybody to stay home with him. My husband was working or whatever. That's the last time I'm in. Well, I'm just looking at the other reports. She went back 25 years to find a report where my wife didn't attend a specific event and gave her a 3 on her evaluation for this year. And my wife has attended every event. She doesn't do any of the planning for the events, but she has attended every event that job has offered. But this evaluator, looking at past reports, went back and looked at reports from 25 years ago and then marked my wife a 3 out of 5.
I would have asked, how many have you been to in 25 years? Oh, I haven't been working here for 25 years. My point exactly.
And then she asked her, why am I getting all fours otherwise? Why am I getting all fours? And you can guess what that answer was.
Because you're white.
No, because there's always room for improvement. You can always do better. So
Well, lady, start doing better.
nobody gets a 5.
If nobody gets to 5, why is it there? If nobody
This,
gets a 5, why is it even an option?
no, that's no, with this evaluator, nobody gets the
Again,
five.
that's my point. If
Right.
the 5 is there and nobody gets it, why is it even there?
Because other evaluators give out fives.
I get that. But I would have asked that person, if 5 is on there and you never give a 5, why is it on there? Your rating should be 1 out of 4.
And then now see, and that immediately drew me back to a supervisor I had when I was in the Air Force. And when I was a young airman, and he said no airman ever gets them. Then back in those days, our APRs, airman performance reports, were a 1 to 9 scale. Now, when I retired, they'd revamped them to a 1 to 5. But back in the 70s and early 80s, they were 1 to 9. And he said no airman with less than 3 years in the service ever gets a 9 that he evaluates, because no airman with less than 3 years deserves a 9.
Well, I wouldn't
And
go as far as doesn't deserve, but I could understand the airman doesn't know enough to get a
you,
9,
but you see, you're supposed to be rated against your peers.
who also don't know enough. Okay, I see you.
All right. And I filed a complaint against them and said I wanted a different supervisor, because the Air Force used your last, I think it was your last 5 performance reports for promotion. So so if I when I got 5 performance reports, if 3 of them were eights, an average of an 8, yet I've got not going up against a guy whose supervisor did give out 9, so he got 8.5s.
Sure.
Guess who's getting promoted and guess who's not? Now they did have a talk with him. I didn't get a new supervisor, but they did have a talk with him, and they did end up upgrading a few of my. There's a few areas I agreed. Yeah, I'm not the best amongst my peers in these areas. I agreed with some of them, but there were some I was like, no, I'm better than them in this. I'm one of the best ones you got for this. And I had to sit there and go down through them and argue with them on every one of the points. And to sit there now and my wife's evaluator tell her the exact same damn thing that I was told back in 1978 and 79. You would think in the years since then that kind of attitude would have changed.
Have your wife ask for another review
She's only
from a
got two
different.
more. She's only got 2 more years. She's not before she retires. She said she's not going to fight it.
She's not going to rock the boat.
Yeah,
No sense in getting fired in the last 2 years of your work.
right. She's got 2 more years. When she retires, her she's fully vested in her retirement funds and everything else.
Yeah.
So she's not going. But I'll tell you what, the day after she retires, she's not going to be able to hold me back. That she right now, it's just her wishes for me not to go up there and rip new assholes across the board. You know, I'm sorry. You know, is my wife perfect? No, but she has worked there now for almost 30 years. Actually, she's worked there almost 35 years because she was working there when my son was born. And she comes home every freaking night and sits here on the couch with her laptop, and she'll spend 2 to 3 hours every night doing work that she's supposed to be able to have time at work to do.
Yeah.
But because nobody wants to come into her classroom because they don't want to deal with her children, she doesn't get the 2 hour break every day that she's supposed to be getting to sit down and do this paperwork.
Yeah.
Now, granted, does it take her longer to do it at home than would she do it at work? Yeah, because I interrupt her.
But she's got other distractions at the house
Yeah,
that aren't
yeah.
there at
I mean,
work.
right. I mean, she's sitting here, and she's got the TV on, and we got the dog and the cat, and then she's got me. So
The
I
biggest distraction.
right. I mean, because I'm reaching over and grabbing her thigh or grabbing her knee, or if I let the dog out, I play with her feet. You know, pull on her toes or tickle them or something, tickle her feet or something.
Sure.
Just the thing husbands do to irritate their wife.
Well, like,
Playful irritate.
oh yeah, well, today is I have to be as quiet as possible. Today is go day for my wife. And it's one of those, I might go upstairs twice today, maybe. No, this is the 16th and 17th and 2nd and 3rd are her two most outrageous days of the month. And I do not bother my wife at all. I might walk up, give her a quick kiss, and disappear.
Make sure she's got plenty of caffeine and snacks
Yeah,
within a hand's reach.
yeah, pretty much. Make sure it's full pot of coffee.
Yeah, I know. I make sure my wife's iced tea is topped off when she's sitting there working, and a bowl of pretzels or chips or something for her to snack on while she's doing what she's doing.
Well, with my wife, this has got to be one of the most oddest things I have experienced. My wife has been where she's at for 20, 22, 23 years. And throughout the years, I've listened to her complain about her coworkers and her boss and the HR department, the finance department, and everything. Well, about 3 years ago, she got a new boss, and he's a good guy. He's also not best friends, but good friends with her son. They went to school together. Now, how odd
Oh,
is that? Your son's best friend is your boss.
okay.
And we knew them as when they were. I mean, we knew her boss when he was a younger guy when they were in high school.
Well, he respects her.
Oh
He
yeah,
he he walked into the job respecting her.
yeah, yeah. I. It's the weirdest thing, but it actually plays to some degree to her because
Right.
he knows she knows her job, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have to worry about anything with my wife other than her threatening to quit. That's his biggest fear is my wife quitting.
Well, it's like where my wife works, that they've already told her that, because they know she's going to retire here in 2 years, and they're trying to find somebody now to replace her.
That's what I keep telling my wife. I said, you need to get on. I forget his name now. So you need to get on his case about getting somebody in there real quick because he's only got 3 years, four
Yep.
years. He's only got 4 years, and you're not going to get somebody trained up enough in a year to even take over half of what my wife does.
Yeah.
And my wife runs like 5 departments, and her like 4 other coworkers do like 2 each. And she has like 2 of the biggest solid waste and roads, has the most employees in those departments.
Right.
And she's doing 5 departments, and the other people are only doing 2, maybe 3. And she's doing well twice, if not 3 times the work of everyone else.
Right.
But yeah, I get you with your wife, and
Now, I'm still fuming over the fact that somebody in 2025 is still out there saying that nobody deserves the highest rating. And especially when it comes to my wife, when she has gone through probably 3 dozen coworkers over the past 10 years. And not because they don't like her or can't deal with her, because they can't deal with the children.
right,
Because they're talking a combination of infants and toddlers. And it's 8 kids, 8 infants and toddlers. And
definitely
they
a handful.
and they can't work with them. And they don't know how, my wife, by the time the toddlers come out of my wife's class and they go to the next grade up, and this is all preschool. They know their colors. They know 12 colors. They know all 5 basic shapes. They know the names and how to describe them.
Nice.
And they can all count to 10. For a 3-year old, that's pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, I have a 3-year-old grandson.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
For a 3-year old to know all 10 colors, to know all 5 shapes, and to count to 10, that's really good. Especially being able to tell the difference between purple and blue. That's
I,
the
I will.
hardest.
I will have to quiz my grandson. I will see him on Sunday. It's
Again,
his birthday.
oh, okay. But I mean, this is the kind of stuff my wife has been teaching for years. And then she's also dealing with infants that have to be bottle fed and diapers changed. I mean that it's a handful. It's work, and to have and for this evaluator to know that she can't keep that that they've gone through that many coworkers because they get stressed out over trying to deal with that, and to say that she's still got room for improvement. The wife did get a little smart ass with him and said, "Well, I get you. What I know two areas where I need to improve." And the value, the values. Okay, what were they? She goes, "I need to improve on how being a hall monitor and going into other classrooms and gossip." And the evaluator laughed and said, "No, no, no. We got enough of those. We don't need anybody else getting out there and becoming proficient at that."
I would have to say that is my biggest drawback is chatting with other coworkers,
So,
which is why I
well,
usually worked alone, so I wouldn't distract
yeah.
myself.
Well, that's one thing I do like about my job is I normally don't have any coworkers around me. I've got them for 15, 20 minutes when I first walk in the door and 15, 20 minutes when I go to leave, just doing shift change.
Yeah,
And then on the rare occasion, and I do mean rare, that my boss stops down to talk to me, like once every month and a half to 2 months, one of the two bosses will stop down to talk to me.
curious on average,
Yeah.
we'll say on a monthly average,
Hmm.
how many customers do you get nightly?
Okay, I will usually take between 11 and 7. I'll usually take maybe 2 dozen phone calls and 3 or 4 people in front of me.
Okay.
And that's not including the police.
That doesn't include outbound calls to the police.
Well, no, no, no. The police coming in and because they've got warrants for somebody.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. They're coming in looking for people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they'll show me a picture. And I'll say, sorry, I mean, I've only been here for an hour. I haven't seen any of our guests. I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night. Most of them are in bed asleep
Right.
or in bed watching television, falling asleep.
Or out at a club, or yeah.
Yeah, well, there is a booby bar within walking distance.
I mean, I've never, whenever I've had to rent a room, I've
Mm.
never been of the, oh, I need to get there, by noon. That way I get the most use out of my room. No, I need a place to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, checkouts at 10. I'm only getting 5 hours. Let's do it.
Oh, I will have people check in at 4 o'clock in the morning and checkouts by 11.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, I can get 6 hours of sleep. That's all I need.
Yep.
I'm
And
I'm good. Set me a wake up call for 11 or for 10:30. That'll give me a half hour to get up, grab a quick shower, and get out the door. Can do easy.
yeah, I won't say I haven't rented a whole bunch of hotel rooms, but as far as for like a night, rarely. And usually when I'm traveling,
Right.
I just, I mean, even like if I go down to Georgia and then we want to go to the beach, which is 6 hours away.
Hmm.
I'm not going to rent a hotel room. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go to the beach, and I'm going to drive back.
Ah,
6 hours is not that long.
depends on which seat of the car you're sitting in. Driver's seat is not bad. Passenger seat, it's horrible.
Uh, I guess I don't know. I mean, I've only taken in the last, well, since I moved out of my house, I have only taken one long trip that somebody else drove.
Unfortunately, I've had to do the Greyhound a few times,
Well,
and
it just dawned on me
and
that other than the trip my brother and I did last year to go see David Gilmour, that's the only time that I've driven more than 5 hours and had to share the drive.
right. So when the wife and I would drive up to Ohio, it's a 16 to 18-hour drive, depending on which part of the state we're driving to. And our layover point is Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
So we get up to Lexington, and it's 12 hours from here to Lexington. And then, that way when we get to wherever we're going, we're fairly fresh.
Right, right. No, I get you.
Okay. Get a good night's sleep in, check out at the last minute, or check out and then go get a decent breakfast and buy what we need, for some fresh veggies and ranch dressing for snacking on the drive up. uh,
I
but
even when I originally drove up here the first time, um, the wife flew down before we were married, but she flew down and drove back with me, but she did not drive.
right. Oh, when the wife and I are together, she hates driving and she won't drive at night or in the rain.
Well, my wife has vision issues that driving at night, driving in the rain is a concern for her. For her, I mean, she's just like, I don't like driving at night, or I want to be home before it gets dark. Or I'm like, okay, I'll drive. I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's my wife. Uh, um,
But again, I drove 21 hours straight, stopping just for gas and pee breaks.
I think the longest I've driven was the 16 to 17 hours from here to my parents' house in Florida or in Ohio. And damn cops, my dad must have called them and told them I was on my way up and what I was driving. I got pulled over 6 times once I hit my hometown by different cops, all of them who knew my dad, just to give me a ration. Not because I was speeding or doing anything wrong, but basically what they did is they were calling my dad and telling him where I was and delaying me so that he could get some stuff done before I got home. My dad's was a bit of a prankster at times. So even had one I stopped for breakfast and I had one they saw my car or my truck rather and they came into the breakfast place looking for me. And, I'm sitting there eating my sausage gravy on toast and 2 eggs over easy, and then I get this cop showing up to talk to me. And needless to say, everybody in the nobody in the place recognized me, but they all knew the cop. And when okay, what's he doing talking to that guy for? What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh hell, what's about to go down?
Yeah, but anyway, but yeah, I am going to the day after my wife retires, or the week after she retires, when she's out of this, when they can do absolutely nothing to her.
Right.
They've got everything cut. She's got her retirement fund coming into her. She's got her checks coming into her, and everything else. They got nothing else they can hold over their head. They do have open meetings on occasion, once a quarter. And I'm going to go down there and hit one of those open meetings. And I am going to lay into them. I mean, they run 8 centers in the county. And this is the kind of nonsense they've got going on. I don't even think they know what they got going on in their own centers half the time. Because each director comes in and they're totally different from the director before them.
Holy shit.
So, what's that?
Oh, I just do random stuff. Uh
What rabbit hole did you fall into?
no, I just happened to pull up Delta Airlines to check my flight, even though it's still a month away.
Right?
And I'm like, well, let's just see what the current rate is. And I want to say that my flight that I'm taking that I paid $850 for is now $1,972.
Yep.
But the ticket right below that, 590 with 30 minutes of extra layover in a different town. Hour difference in arrival time.
Right.
1972, 590.
My sister, in I fly my sister down every year for Thanksgiving week, Tuesday to Tuesday. Because I have found in the past Tuesday's usually the best day to get the best prices. The worst prices are Fridays and Saturdays and Mondays.
Oh, you definitely do not want to fly on Friday, Sunday, or Monday
Those
because
days,
those are business days.
and ticket prices are out the yin yang.
Yeah, it's business travel.
Yep.
People trying to get home for the weekend, trying to get home from wherever it is their job had them, or trying to get out to their next job.
Right.
But yeah, middle of the week is usually best. For me, it seems like Wednesday, Thursday, or at least looking for prices.
Right.
But yeah, I always go and look at ticket
So,
prices after I've purchased them to see if, damn, I
but
could have got that $300 cheaper, or damn, that's twice what I paid.
I I bought her tickets in the first week of June for her to come down in November. And round trip was $800, business class. That's you got either economy or business class on the planes that she's on.
Right.
They don't have a first class per se. and I always get her the on the planes. The very first row's only got three seats, two on the right hand side and one seat on the left side. So I always get her that one seat on the left hand side. It's a little bit bigger seat, of course, being business class, but it's got the most leg room and nobody next to you to bother you.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Well, we
and
always we've started flying first class only because we don't fly that much anymore.
right.
We're getting older. We don't care anymore.
So, and well, like I said, the flights she's on, that you either have business class or economy, nothing else. There is no first class.
Well, there's no first class from Atlanta to Greenville because it's only a 33-minute flight.
Right. Well, from here to Atlanta, or well, actually from here to Charlotte, North Carolina, is an hour and 10 minutes, and then from Charlotte to where she flies into in Ohio is another hour and a half.
Yeah,
So,
it's 5 hours to Atlanta and then 30 minutes to Greenville.
so
My
then,
brother hates
and
that flight. I
and
love
then
it because I like the Atlanta airport, but
and then
he does the Detroit leg, which gives him 2 hours to Detroit and then 3 hours to Seattle. So it breaks it up to where I just want to get there. All right, I've got the 5 hours done. Sit around for an hour. Okay, 30 minutes, I'm out of here.
an hour and a half layover in Charlotte somewhere, hour and a half to 2 hour layover in Charlotte, which isn't bad. I give her a fully charged uh, uh, battery for her cell phone, and I make sure she's got a couple of movies and a couple of audio books loaded on her phone to get her through the flight and through the layover. But
The layover is the worst part for me. I hate layovers. And I'll try and make it as short as I possibly can. And a
actually,
lot of
I
times, because
actually
in
I
Atlanta,
prefer.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I prefer a 2 hour layover because that way I know I've got time to get from one gate to the next, and not be that fool that's trying to run down the causeway to get to the next gate.
Yeah,
And then you've always got the plane is either is arriving 10 or 15 or even 20 minutes late because they've had either a late takeoff or they had headwinds, so it took them extra while to get there. So
yeah,
2 hours will usually cover just about anything that will delay you getting to the your late your to the next airport to where you have that layover uh, to give you time. And if I got to sit there and listen to an audiobook for 2 hours or watch a movie on my cell phone for 2 hours, that's no big deal.
well, for me, because I always fly through Atlanta just as habit, um, my brother's house is 2 hours from Atlanta. I mean, if I have a 3 hour layover, Tom just picked me up in Atlanta. I'll grab my bags when
Right.
we get back up there. It's 30 minutes to the airport from his house. We can swing by there and pick up my luggage later that day. That's why I do it that way is I can call somebody and have them come pick me up and take me home.
Right. Well, that's not bad.
If it's more than an hour and a half, no, I'll just have somebody pick me up and I just won't fly that last leg.
But so like I said, though, I buy her tickets in June, but come November, that $800 ticket is anywhere between 16 to $2,000.
Yeah, as soon as I know I'm going, I'm starting to look for flights. It's like I'm planning on going back down in July. I'll start looking for flights in February.
Yeah. And a nice thing though, when you're buying your tickets that early, like on this trip, they had to upgrade the plane.
Oh, I don't know how many times I've bought
And
tickets that they're, oh, we've, your ticket has changed. Okay. It's 2 months away. I don't care. Oh, your ticket has changed again. Still don't care. As long as I'm in first class, don't care.
but yeah, they've upgraded her. Well, when they've changed the plane, then it changed from having a business class seating to first class seating because they actually went to a larger plane.
Yeah.
So they upgraded her ticket at the same time.
Well, the Greenville airport closes at midnight.
Wow, that's early.
And they open up at 6.
That's early. This little podunk airport we go to closes at 2 a.m. and first flights out is at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and Greenville, I think, only has 8 gates.
I don't know how many gates this airport has.
And it's an international airport. Why is it international? Because it flies to Bermuda, Bahamas,
All right.
whatever's off the coast of South Carolina or off the coast of Georgia. Bermuda, yeah.
Yeah,
And that
ours.
makes them an international airport.
Yeah, ours is international also because it does have a flight to Cancun.
I would expect a flight to Canada would make them international as well. You're so close to Canada.
Who? Me?
Ohio.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm down here in Florida.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, the this little podunk airport that we go to down here in Florida, they've got a flight to Cancun.
yeah.
Oh yeah, all the airports in Ohio are international because they do fly to Canada. Even the ones with puddle jumpers can make it to Canada. Fly into Toronto or Quebec. But anyway, let's talk about this representative Stalker. This is another couple day old story, but it's the same. Is just an example of what the Democratic Party is like. And she had the absolute nerve to say this out loud uh, in put on a interview. Let's see here. Is that showing her? Yep. Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good about being white every day for a lot of reasons because it's a point of privilege.
I'm going to be stopping her quite a bit.
Point of privilege already throws a monkey wrench into stuff.
What is the only race that is legal to discriminate against? Even though it is starting to become illegal, it's still legal, though, in many cases to discriminate against. And that's white people. When you can say that when a company can announce that they're looking to promote based on race, that they want to have goals of a certain percentage of people in positions based on their race, not on their merit, but strictly on their race. It's never a white person that's getting that promotion. that they're looking to promote, that they're looking to have a certain number of people. It's never a white person, it's always a black, Hispanic, and now Middle Eastern. You got to have your, so many uh, refugees or whatever,
Right.
depending on what part of the country you're in. So don't tell me that it's a point of privilege of being white, that you've got privileges being white. Because I will strongly disagree with you, and I've got the facts on my side.
I'm not arguing.
That I get to move through the world in a way of my.
I'm sorry, what's that?
This is kind of, I was going to bring up Scribe's DEI talk yesterday. I'm only into it. Where is it? I'm only into it about 11 minutes, but this is exactly what you are talking about white privilege and
DEI.
hiring based on race rather than merit. But yeah, this coincides with his not TEDx, his DEI
right.
stream yesterday. It has to do with journalists as a whole. But yeah, it ties directly into this.
So you tell, and then, well, here she's, let her say it.
Yeah.
Other colleagues and friends and family members of the community don't get the privilege to do.
Now she's saying moving through life. It's a lot easier to move through life as a white person than as a black or Hispanic. Once again, the white people of this country are supporting financially supporting minorities to a much greater extent, population wise, per capita. Now, and what I mean by that, if you look at raw numbers and numbers only, yes, there are more white people drawing federal assistance than anybody else. But per capita, it's not there. It's not. When you look at the percentage of the individual populations, the percentage drawing federal or state assistance of their population.
Right.
A black person can walk through this town, can walk through any town in this country and say the most outrageous things. And they're either excused for it because, well, look at what their ancestors went through. Or it's like, well, they're allowed to say that word. Or they're allowed to say that, but you're not. When you say that somebody can say something strictly because of the color of their skin, that they can utter certain words,
right,
or certain sentences based upon the color of their skin, and everybody else is banned from saying it, that's discrimination in favor of that individual. And tell me one thing that a white person can say that a black person or Hispanic can't say.
Oh, I agree with you.
The only race that actually has it very difficult are Asians. Because on the whole, you look at the numbers trying to get into colleges, Asians have to score much, much higher than anybody else in order to get into college. Then come white people. You take a white person and an Asian with identical scores, the white kid's going to get in, not the Asian. And that's been brought up before the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court actually acknowledged it. So I'm not saying woe is, and it's not woe is me because I'm white and I'm discriminated against. I'm not saying that. Because that's just as bad as saying woe is me, I'm being discriminated against because I'm black. Is there discrimination out there? Oh yeah. But it's not on the federal level, and there is no discrimination against minorities on the federal level or on the state level, and most likely not on the city or county levels. Now, because most discrimination happens against minorities happens on the individual level. The mom and pop store that doesn't like, that doesn't like
Where it
somebody,
should
somebody's
be,
a certain
where it should be the least problematic.
right.
In a mom
Because
and
you don't
pop
have to go
store
into that
of
mom and pop.
4 employees, where discrimination matters the least. Now, yeah, corporate America, absolutely. But, well, maybe not absolutely, but yeah, the individual discrimination on an individual per person basis, I can see that happening.
And most discrimination on the per person basis is happening whites against or blacks against whites because they're allowed to. They're encouraged
It's
to.
everybody against whites, although you don't see as many other races bashing whites as you do blacks.
Exactly. But this liberal here, Stalker, I think her first name's Sarah. Yep, it is. Sarah Stalker. Spelled just like the crime.
You mean it's not Karen?
She says it's easier to move through life, through this country, as a white person than it is as a black person.
And I'm just a female, but just a woman, just a white woman. If I was a white man, I would be functioning from a point of an even greater privilege.
What's a woman?
Not only that, but you go into any city government building. Who do you see working there for the most part? Go to the post office. Who do you see working in the post office for the most part?
My post office is almost entirely staffed by females.
Exactly. So is our post office.
And do I have a problem with it? Never thought about it. I just know I see the same two women for the last 15 years. I don't
You
care. It's a gravy job. The
you
only way
go
you can get fired is to kill somebody, and even then, that's debatable.
go and like I said, walk into any city hall. Who do you see working in city halls most times?
I try and avoid government buildings for the most part.
Right.
There's nothing good in them.
But my I don't know how you describe what the relationship is, but my daughter-in-law's brother, my daughter-in-law's brother-in-law.
My brother's son's sister's cousin's best friend's uncle. Okay, got it.
Right. Right. Now, he's my daughter-in-law's brother-in-law. Okay. He's a lineman, works for Gulf Power. And they've had him and I were talking a couple months back, and he said they've had 3 women come out to get hired in as linemen, and none of them lasted a week. That's not to say women can't be linemen.
Just the ones that applied that couldn't do it.
The ones who thought they could do it couldn't. But there's also, he said, they've had men come out and not make it the week. So, and they've had more men than women not make it a week, but that's because more men applied for the job.
Some people just aren't cut out for certain jobs.
Right.
Whether it be male or female in said role. A male in a female's job, a female in a male's job, or male in a male's job. Some people just aren't cut out for a job.
Oh, when I worked for Krispy Kreme driving the delivery truck, I had a guy quit halfway through the night when we came back to restock the truck to do the second half of the route. That's always where I went in, took my, I unloaded the truck, cleaned it, swept it out real quick, went in, took a quick piss break and grabbed a fresh cup of coffee or fresh refreshments, reloaded the cab, reloaded the donuts, and then take off. Well, somewhere in that time, while I was in the bathroom, this guy jumped in his car and he left. Didn't even tell me he was leaving. He jumped in his car. He went home. We never saw him again. He didn't even come in to pick up his 4-hour paycheck.
I wonder what went south for him.
It was rolling them racks of donuts up and down that ramp.
Oh dear God.
That's what he didn't like. I tried to show him how to do it, this would be the easiest on your body and the least amount of hazard to knocking the donuts off the ramp. Because that ramp's only got a couple inches leeway on either side of the size of the donut tray. But yeah, he didn't make it through the first night. And now I didn't have it. I was the route supervisor, and in the 3 or 4 years I was doing the route supervisor, I never had a woman make it more than a month before they quit. And they all had the same complaint. Their legs and shoulders hurt from moving the racks.
Well, a month is just about enough time for those muscles to get into shape to be able to do that. My God, people, when it's physical labor, of course, it's a brand new job. You're using muscles you've never used before.
Exactly.
I mean, no joke. Once I
Absolutely.
started working outside, physical labor, not standing in a building helping customers. Once I got outside, slinging a weed eater, running a timber mill, hauling logs, shoveling dirt, wasn't until then that most of my physical ailments stopped. Once I got fit, most of my pain went away.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, when I was driving that delivery truck and I was moving them racks up and down, I dropped 20 pounds in the first 3 or 4 months.
Up until I was let go from my job, I was probably the fittest I had ever been in my whole life, including when I was in high school.
I was never more fit than I was when I was in high school because I was on that working farm. I got in the Air Force and I got lazy. And that was working on the flight line.
The only thing I did in high school was run track.
No,
And the only reason I did that's because I got legs for it.
they wanted me to run track, and I told them no.
And
I'm not.
I had a Boy Scout leader. It come up to me. It's like, boy, your legs start at your armpits.
How tall are you?
I'm just 6'3",
All right,
6'2" now,
we're the same height.
but my inseam is 36 inches.
Okay, mine's 35 and a half. So
Yeah.
we're damn near the same size, except for my belly. I'll make the bet my belly's bigger than yours.
I'm drastically underweight.
I'm drastically overweight.
Ship me up a couple of pounds, whatever you can afford.
I can afford to send you 100 pounds. I just
I'll
wish I
take it.
could. I just
I'll
wish I
take it.
could. All right, let's get back to this stupid woman here. So not only is she a racist, she's a sexist. Not only is this woman a racist, because for some reason she thinks that black people and Hispanics and anybody who isn't white just can't make it without her help. That she has to be there to protect them because they can't do it on their own. They're missing something. They've got it. You know, they need her. She don't need them. They need her. They need her to protect them. And they can't get a job on their own. They can't get a good paying job on their own unless they've got her standing in their corner making them hire her. Okay, what just happened?
I don't know.
I
But you
had
have two
sent,
Facebook messages.
this is weird as hell. What the hell is going on?
That's why I don't use Facebook.
Well, this is the only place I could find this video.
Right.
I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good about being white every day
X.
for a lot of reasons. Because it's a point of privilege that I get to move through the world in a way that so many of my other colleagues and friends and family members of the community don't get the privilege to do. And I'm just a female, but just a woman, just a white woman. If I was a white man, I would be functioning from a point of even greater privilege. I think we're missing an opportunity when kids have a moment to reflect about how the color of their skin does and does not allow them to move through the world.
She wants to teach our kids how to be racist. That is what she's wanting to do. She wants
That's
to
what the
she
whole education system is trying to do.
she is wanting to do her best to teach our kids how to be racist. And that is the part. She can sit there. Oh, hey, morning, Paul. She can sit there and say all this about, if she wants to be a racist on her own, that's fine. I don't care. I will disagree with her, but I'm not going to change her mind. You're not going to change her mind. Because for some reason it's gotten inbred into her and her little liberal ideology that minorities, that black people, that Hispanics, they're just too dumb. They're just incapable of making it on their own. I have to wonder how Shaq managed to make it. I have to wonder how Oprah managed to make it. I wonder
Michael
how
Jordan,
Whoopi Goldberg, Denzel Washington,
Michael Jackson.
Morgan Freeman, you know, uh, Clarence Thomas, how these people managed to make it without her standing there to help them. But she can have those thoughts all day long, as long as she keeps it to herself. But what she wants to do is put her thoughts, those thoughts, into our children. And that's where I draw that line. Children, I've seen it. My wife has seen it. Especially, when you're around a group of toddlers, the last thing they worry about is somebody's skin color. They go up and play with each other. They hug each other. They hold each other's hands. They play together. They're more concerned whether or not you're going to share your toy than anything else. Until they're taught to be racist. And that's exactly what this woman wants to put in our elementary schools and our preschools. She wants to teach them how to be racist.
It's
She,
already being taught that way. It's
I
not that
know.
she's just saying the quiet part out loud. It's been done that way for like the last 10 years. As a matter of fact, it's been that way since Trump took office the first time.
It's actually been there longer than that.
It has, but it took off when Trump took office.
But
Actually, it took off with Obama, but again, when Trump got into office, it exploded.
well, remember, this started in the colleges in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s.
Yes.
And it's now worked its way down to the element. Then it left the colleges and it worked its way down into the high schools. And
And
now
now
it's
it's all the
getting
way down into elementary.
and pre-K.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have to fight. We can't fight it from the top down. We have to fight it from the bottom up. We have to get it out of the pre-K. We have to get it out of the elementary schools.
We got to get it out of education.
We we've got to get it out of the high schools.
Oh. Ah.
These people like her, and she sounds so sincere. She sounds so sympathetic. She's sitting there tugging at your heartstrings as she's saying, spreading this poison to our country.
You realize I have no heartstrings, right?
Mhm. Hey, my wife says that the Grinch was modeled after me. The pre Three Hearts Bigger Grinch.
I'm going to have to step away for a quick sec.
All right. But this, again, this is a representative today sitting in Congress. This is a woman today saying this. Now, if you would have a man standing there saying the same things but flipped, there'd be calls for their impeachment. They stop thinking and just feel. You're right. You're absolutely right, Paul. And this woman's sitting there saying how she's ashamed to be white because she has it so much easier being a white woman. Now, I'll agree, she's got it easier than men being a woman than a man. I'll agree with that. I just watched the video of a man getting, I mean, this woman was beating the crap out of his face, slapping him and punching him in the face. And he stood there and took a good 8 or 9 solid swats from this woman. And then he told, he'd been telling her to stop it, stop it, stop it. And then he just popped her one time and she went down. And he's the one that got arrested. She didn't get it because, well, you hit her harder than she hit you. Well, she shouldn't have been hitting me to start with. She's the one that assaulted me. I just defended myself. Fortunately, there's video. So I'd seriously, the judge should throw the case out if the DA even prosecutes it.
Oh my God, this is like that lady over in Germany got stabbed 6 times. Oh, we're only going to give him 6 months because he didn't stab you that many times.
Or the guy that used the racial slur after he got stabbed, and the jury found the stabber not guilty because the
Oh
guy
yeah.
called him a racial slur afterwards. Well, you hurt his feeling. You said you called him a bad name after he stabbed you. So it's your fault he stabbed you. we're going to find him innocent. That was up in Colorado last week. What a crock.
Yeah. Defending myself and I get arrested.
Yep. Why?
And more so if you're white.
Well, it was definitely, well, he was a white man and it was a black woman hitting him. It's ridiculous.
You want to know how dumb our senators are?
Okay. I know how dumb some of them are.
Well, I mean ours is meaning mine in Washington.
Okay, what did yours just do?
Well, I put the link in the side chat, but Pramila Jayapal, whatever her name is.
Oh God! Oh yeah, Jayapal. Yeah,
they
that
created
woman's
this
dumber box
Yeah.
of rocks.
They created this crisis. Now they're offering a sham solution at the 11th hour that doesn't extend the subsidies that would actually lower premiums. Typical Republican playbook. And the caption is House GOP offers health care bill without Obamacare subsidies.
Yeah.
They're trying to blame the subsidies on the Republicans. That the Republicans are the ones that put the subsidies in there. And now they're blocking them. Just like the Republicans.
Not a single Republican voted for Obamacare. It passed strictly on party lines.
Yeah. Oh, you have to read it to know what's in it.
Yep. We have to vote on it before we can know what's in it.
Oh, we have to keep healthcare affordable. And the only way we can do that is charge you more. It's not affordable if you have to subsidize it.
Nope.
It's like the exact opposite of affordable.
Now, I'm going to say this with a grain of salt because I have not personally researched it. All right. But a person that I normally trust, he gets 99% of his facts correct. 99% of what he said and I've researched has been correct. All right. There's been a couple of times that I disagreed with him on the facts because I found facts that he didn't. I hate it when people leave out stuff because what they leave out does not necessarily support their position. But United, I believe that he was talking about United Healthcare. Their stock price before Obamacare was like $200 a share. After Obamacare, it's popped up to $1,000 a share. If it wasn't for Obamacare, the company may have gone under.
In this day and age, probably not. Oh, it's too big to fail.
That's just it. After Obamacare and the money going directly to them. Remember, Obamacare, these subsidies go directly to the healthcare companies.
Yeah.
They don't go to your doctors or to your providers to subsidize them. It goes to the insurance companies. And just like when this money goes to colleges, When the government money goes directly to a college, that college prices go up. The price of colleges when Fannie Mae was around, again, prior to the Obama administration, was I think it was something like again, I'm flying the numbers off the top of my head, trying to remember exactly what they were, but it's gone up on the order of like 400% since Obama's been president.
Sure.
Price of college. And why is that? Because college loans are now mostly government loans. They're no longer the private loans like as they were under Fannie Mae. Yes, Fannie Mae was quasi-governmental, just like Head Start, early Head Start's quasi-governmental. But there was still a large private interest in it. Not anymore. And when
Yeah, because quote unquote government money is guaranteed money.
Exactly. And
You're quite the popular person this morning.
how's that?
You've been getting lots of dings and jingles and.
Well, that was Trump has signed more executive orders in 2025 than he did in his entire first term. And, that's.
Those are just news alerts that you have set up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, news alerts. And, of course, it's being phrased in a way that, Trump's being more of a dictator this year.
No.
Yes. A quick look at the news article was, gives me the impression that they're going at it from Trump being a dictator because he signed so many EOs. So.
Well, I would say compare it to how many Biden signed, but Biden didn't sign any.
Biden didn't know half the ones that were put out there what they were even about.
I'm curious as to how many executive orders that he actually put pen to paper on.
Well,
he personally put pen to paper on, not auto pen.
Right. That's why Trump signs so many live on television or with reporters.
Right. So it can be proven that he signed it.
Right. His most controversial ones, he signs out there in public. And I really wish Trump wouldn't be. There's times I need to look this up before I say any more. Trump's reaction to Rob Reiner death.
Oh, bad take. And then double down on that bad take.
All right, now. On USA Today. That you have to be a member to even look at USA Today's things.
Yeah, I got like 3 yesterday. Oh, you've reached your limit. Please subscribe and pay $100.
Yeah.
No, I'll get my news elsewhere. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, here's what he said. All right, I finally found the quote. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy stars, passed away together with his wife Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive unyielding, incurable affliction with mind crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS.
Yeah.
This is one time Trump should have kept his trolling in his
Hey,
pocket.
uh, if one of your detractors passes away, I don't care who you are. I'm sorry they passed. Let it go. Express condolences. Sorry for your loss. You don't have to mean it, but
Exactly.
don't.
Or,
I mean, especially as a president.
well, as anybody.
Well,
But,
no, especially as a president.
all
Have
right.
more couth than that. Tact.
Say what you want to say in private, but, and even then, don't even say it. Keep those kind of thoughts to yourself. I've had people pass or be killed in a car accident or whatever that I did not like. I knew that on a personal level, I did not like them. I never said a word out loud about how I disliked them or or anything else. I never said I was glad they were dead or took any kind of cheer in it because I don't like seeing any. But there are very few people that there's nobody that I know on a personal level that I want to see dead, and there's very few people in the world that I want to see die a bad death. Are there some? Yes. If the Hamas leaders, fell on something and got a horrible infection and died, I would cheer. If a pedophile, you know, fell on something and got their bits torn up, I would stand there and laugh. So there are some people, some acts that, hey, the worse your death is, the happier I am because you've earned every bit of it. But that's a very small minority of
Yeah.
people that I would cheer their death or make commentary about their death in the way that Trump did here.
I don't think
And
I hate anybody that much that I would actually cheer their death.
oh, I cheered Saddam's death. I stood up and clapped when Saddam Hussein died.
I mean,
All right. There are people out there that I will stand up and cheer. If a leader of Hamas dies, I stand up and cheer. Thank God they're dead. A leader of Hezbollah dies, I stand up and cheer. A
I
drug
get you.
cocaine, a drug dealer out of Mexico or South America dies. I don't care how they died; they're dead. That makes me happy. Those cartel members that got blowed up bringing drugs out of Venezuela didn't hurt me. Felt zero sympathy for them.
Well, see that I guess that's where I'm getting is I'm not going to celebrate their deaths, but I care less. You chose to do something stupid, and you paid the consequences. Sorry, you may have been
I,
a good
I
person in your
I will
circle.
cheer anybody's death. What
I just I don't I don't
death.
care enough or hate enough anybody to celebrate their death. I just that's just me. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there, live or die.
Uh,
I care less.
and
Oh, how
in
come you
that
don't
basis,
care? Because I don't care.
in that basis, you may be a better man than I am.
Their life meant absolutely nothing to me.
What
If it was
I've
taken, so be it. I don't care.
I've got such strong feelings about people who cause that type of misery in other people.
Oh,
That
I don't get me
what
wrong. There are people that deserve to die. That doesn't mean I have to celebrate it. Pedophiles, yeah, they deserve to die. I'm not going to celebrate it. I'll just be happy they're not there anymore.
you
Making me happy and celebrating are two totally different things.
and I'll be honest, you're a better man than I am in that because I not only I not only celebrate it, I cheer for it, and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about, Data. And there was something I just read on X. Let's see, what was it? Something to the effect of I see more people on the right calling out Trump's comments on Reiner's death than anyone on the left calling out the comments on Charlie's death.
Yeah.
And it just shows what kind of society we have.
People on and in general, people on the right have got limitations. They've got standards that they uphold,
They
if
have
it's one of their
compassion.
own, regardless if it's one of their own breaking the rules or not.
Right. But yeah, I thought his take was in bad taste. I think he just said it should have said one of my staunchest critics has passed away. Sorry to hear that. On to more business.
Especially the way he died, being stabbed to death. That I mean, that's different than dying of natural causes, dying of cancer,
Well,
dying in a car accident.
even if he waited till today to put out his tweet, knowing more information that
Well, the
allegedly
information,
his son did
the,
it.
well, the information was known that they were stabbed to death right away. That
Right.
information was out there. So you already know that wasn't of natural causes, that it was a violent act that
Well, and
caused it.
I think it strikes even more home that it was a family member.
Right.
I mean,
So,
is it one thing that, oh, he was murdered? Oh, he was murdered by his son. Does it make a difference? He's dead? No, not really.
yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, family members, as a general rule, don't kill family members. As a general rule, they kill other people.
So it's
But most of the crime stuff that I watch on TV is people killing family members, and I don't know why.
I would rather my wife make me suffer and listen to her Hallmark movies than have her get into these murder porn shows on television. I'm so glad she's not into the murder porn. And if she were ever to get into murder porn, I'd have to wonder what in the heck I've done wrong to cause her to start watching that and taking enjoyment and watching wives kill their husbands.
Well, for me, it's more the enjoyment of watching the suspect just get destroyed.
Right.
The amount of excuses, or the lies that they tell in the hopes that they can get, some of those are just absolutely hilarious. I mean, beyond funny. I'm just sitting down here laughing, going, "You did not just say that. You really did not. I don't even know the whole story, and I know you did not just say that."
I was I was watching something the other day, and then it flipped over, and then they changed subjects like we do here,
Yeah.
right? They changed subjects, and they got talking about these two grandmas that the, what was that TV show where the two guys met on the train and plotted the deaths of each other's wives?
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was a real life thing where these two grandmas got together and plotted the deaths of their husbands so each one could get a $3 million life insurance policy. And it's like, I was like, oh man, good Lord, have mercy. Yeah.
Strangers on a Train,
How,
1951.
okay. I thought there was a remake of that there recently, but
Throw Mama from the Train? No, that was.
I'm not a fan of most comedian movies, comic movies. Because I don't find them funny. But I have to admit, I found that one funny. It was so stupidly funny that it was funny. I sat there and laughed. Fortunately, we watched it on DVD or VCR, whatever. But we watched it at home. We weren't in the movie theater. Oh, speaking of the wife, the wife and I rarely agree on movies to see. But there's one coming out here in this month that the wife and I both agree we want to go see. And we're going to schedule it in. And that's the Song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman being why can't Neil Diamond?
Mm.
Now, it's like
Hugh Jackman is Neil Diamond.
yes.
I mean, he's got the pipes for it, but
It's good. Come on, you know how to spell song.
would you believe that Throw Mama from the Train was directly inspired by Strangers on a Train?
Okay.
But the one you may be thinking about was a TV movie, Once You Meet a Stranger.
Nope.
2015. Ben Affleck, David Fincher.
Symbol. I just want to entertain people. I don't want to be a hairdresser. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to garden. I want a cat. I need something big. I need something new.
What do you think?
You don't want to be a Neil Diamond impersonator. You want to be a Neil Diamond interpreter.
I was looking for the right way to say it, and you just came right out and said it.
Tell your mama, girl, we can't stay long.
We should call ourselves Lightning and Thunder.
We got things we gotta catch up on.
So you be lightning and I be thunder.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not very professional of me, but I've been wanting to do it for like a whole.
You really have to call him Lightning? It's kind of weird.
Be nice.
My dad in Vietnam, sometimes he'd have to crawl over dead bodies. So yeah, he used to drink.
I could really use for you to tell me I'm doing the right thing.
I think you are.
Oh, I was scared you were going to hit your head. Bad things happen over and over, and I just want to sing and I want to shine.
Just say, can't pay you anything right now, that's all.
Came in for you, brother. I wouldn't go any shorter than this. I wanted to ripple and wave when the wind blows my shirt.
Wind in a bar. How?
Like a leaf blower. Do you have one? Sure.
Sweet Caroline, the good times never seem so good. Oh boy,
Papa, how you doing?
The wife and I both want to go see that movie. And I can't wait.
I don't know. He's definitely pulling it off, except for profile.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Neil Diamond's profile. Everything else I thought was great. Front on,
he's
everything
not,
else, but from the profile, it is not Neil Diamond.
well, he's not trying to be Neil Diamond. Like I said, he's trying to be an interpreter of Neil Diamond.
Right. No, it looks good.
So it looks like it's got the good energy. And the wife and I, both, there is not a Neil Diamond song that neither one of us doesn't like. So Neil Diamond had a. Did you ever see the movie that he did, the remake of The Jazz Singer?
No.
It is so good. It really is. It's got to be a 20-year-old movie now. Neil Diamond, Jazz Singer. Here we go. And Lucy Arnaz was in it. 1980. So
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm looking at it now.
45 years ago? No, it can't be that long ago.
Jazz Singer remake.
I'm just saying, they're saying it was 1980, and I'm like, you've got to be it, because I really enjoyed that song or that movie so well. But anyway, that's one of the first movies the wife and I watched together. I'm not even getting into that, Data, because I have long detested Candace. When everybody else was falling in love with her in her miraculous turn to the right.
Oh dear God.
Okay. I never trusted her because she showed her true colors with that
Social
Well-
autopsy.
right, with that social autopsy website she was trying to develop. That was Candace Williams. I no,
Candace
uh,
Owens.
Candace Owens rather. Yeah, I never trusted that woman to be anything besides a liar after that.
Well, the funny, we obviously we run in different circles, um, but uh, and I know you've heard the name Ethan Ralph.
Oh my God.
He claims that he was the one that set Candace on her career. If it wasn't for him, she would not be where she is today. This coming from a guy who owes $1,800 in back child support, fled to Florida or to Mexico, and can barely survive $400 a month rent on a tin shack.
I
made
even forgot
Candace
he
Owens.
existed.
I made Candace Owens. You people don't understand. I made her. Uh-huh. That's why she always talks about you. That's why she brought you along into the fold and got you somewhere into the picture as well. Because people do that. Hey, you helped make my career. Why don't you help come join my team?
The wife and I were watching, well, the wife was watching, and then I was doing some other stuff. I was working on the computer, but the Christmas Family Feud last night, and Shaq was on it, and he brought along his kid, his mama and his kids, and then he brought along two other guys, and the one guy works for Shaq, and been working for Shaq for years, and the other guy says, "I'm his best friend." The host of Family Feud
Yeah.
asked him, who he was and what he did, for Shaq, and or what his relationship was. He goes, "I've just been his best friend for 40 years, or 30 years, or however long." And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like that,
Yeah.
and the story about Shaq and the Shaq shoes, how they came about, and he tells him, he had, I think it was is either a Nike or a Reebok uh, contract, and some woman complained at him about the price of the shoes, and he took $2,000 out of his pocket, went to hand it to her so she could buy shoes for her kids, and she smacked him away and said, "What about everybody else that can't afford to buy your damn shoes?" And he said, well, that night I canceled my contract with the company, and I came up with Shaq and made them priceable for everybody to buy them.
Yeah.
And I have to respect a man who does that.
Sure.
To me, that's the guy that never forgot where he came from, because Shaq did not grow up rich.
If somebody helped me and whatever it was that I was doing, I would do my damnedest to reward them in some way. Whether it be taking them out to dinner, giving them $100, or hiring them in at a new job.
Even if that job was just to be around me and kick me in the ass when I needed it. But actually, that's my wife's job.
Right. My wife does a pretty fair job of it.
So does mine. I think she takes a little too much enjoyment in it. I need to cut her paycheck because she enjoys it too much.
I wouldn't tell her that right after she got her review.
I'm madder about that than she is. I got madder about it than she did. She looked at me and she goes, "What are you getting mad about? I've only got a couple of years left there. Do you think I'm going to worry about it? They're not going to fire me." It's like, well, that's true. They're not. They're not going to fire her, because they got absolutely nobody that's willing to replace her. And, they're not going to promote her because they know that when she reaches retirement age, she's going to retire.
Yeah, I keep telling my
So,
wife whenever she has a problem at work, just remind her boss that she can quit anytime she wants.
did you wake up, Spanky? Spanky's been asleep here next to me the whole time. He just woke up. He loves this cold weather for about 5 minutes at a time. Do you have a dog?
I do not. I
You
wish I
do
did.
not. Okay. We've changed his diet here recently because he's on a special kibble for hip for his hip joints.
Yeah.
At our old house, we had a back porch, and he would come flying off that back porch like he was super dog, be all stretched out and hit the ground running. Well, he managed to screw up both of his hips doing that. So now he's on damn special medicine or special dog food kibble that's got medicine built into it for his hips. And lately, he hasn't really been eating. I mean, he's only been eating to keep from starving, basically.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to figure out a ways of getting him to eat better. And first, we were buying the moist and meaty hamburger-looking stuff that comes in plastic packages.
Right.
And the problem is he was eating that and not eating the kibble. So
ask your vet if you could wet it.
So what we've gone to is, he got that hook worm to where we had to use this canned dog food to sprinkle his medicine into and mix up. So I
Right.
started mixing his kibble up in that, and all of the kibble's gone now.
Okay.
So the wife bought a tube of that fresh and meaty dog food. It's a refrigerated tube. And last night I sliced it up, put it in a piece of Tupperware, kept it so that don't have to slice it for every morning before feeding it to him. And mix that in with it, or I literally got in there with my fingers this morning, coating his kibble with it. And it took him all of about 6 minutes to destroy his everything.
It was good.
He liked that fresh and or farm fresh or whatever it is. Comes in a green pack, like sausage package.
Yeah.
Or the tubed hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Or tubed hamburger stuff. That's
log.
Yeah, and he absolutely destroyed it this morning. Now I feel bad about the cat because the cat won't eat anything except his kibble. I've tried. I gave him turkey the other day. Back on Thanksgiving, I shredded up some turkey and mixed it in with his kibble. He ate all the kibble and left all the turkey there.
Huh.
So, but the churros, CHURRO, they're a paste. tuna paste and chicken paste for cats. He loves that, but he won't eat it unless it's put into a bowl by itself. You put it in with this kibble, and he won't touch either one of them.
Yeah,
Crazy
I'd like to
animals.
have a dog, but I'm not going to get one. I mean, I would be in heaven if my wife got me a puppy. Absolute heaven.
Well, okay. Are you fully retired now?
Uh, 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 for the time being, yes.
Oh, for the time being. So you're
Well,
thinking about going.
I other than maybe getting a part-time job, yeah, I'm retired. I'm not going back to work full time.
Okay.
And I understand it would be awesome to have gotten a puppy at my birthday. It'd be awesome to get a puppy at Christmas, but I'm not going to get one. I know this because I'm going to be gone for 4 months. My wife is not going to put up with a puppy in the
Take him
house
with
while
you.
she's trying to work.
Take him with you.
Well, my brother has a dog, and that dog will be with us.
Take your dog with you.
Again, I'm not going to have a grown dog and a puppy and two people in a motorhome. That's going to be a nightmare. For 4 months, that'd be a nightmare. And having to care for a puppy while I'm out skiing? No, no. But after that, yeah, again, it would be awesome. But I don't foresee getting a puppy.
You better hope I never find a way of getting in contact with your wife and dropping bugs in her ears.
Oh, it will not help. No, no. But to be honest,
tell her to listen to the last 20 minutes of this stream.
To be honest,
you come back from that 4-month vacation and you'll find a 4-legged puppy waiting on you. A new 4-legged friend.
To be honest, I would have a better chance at getting a kitten. And to be honest, I think I would rather have a kitten.
You know, cats are actually a bigger pain in the butt than dogs are.
They are.
And the biggest pain in the butt with the cat is 3 days a week or 3 times a week changing that litter box.
I had a cat when I first moved up here, or they had a cat that became my cat.
Right.
It was no longer theirs. It became mine, and they were not happy about that. But again, I think when I get back from my trip, I'm going to find me a kitten. Whether my wife likes it or not, I'm going to find a kitten.
Cats will only bestow affection on you when they want to. Dogs do it all the time.
I grew up with 3 dogs. Well, not all at the same time, 3 different dogs.
Right.
My whole life before I moved up here, I had dogs. I've never known life without a dog until I moved up here. Whether it be my neighbors had dogs, we had dogs, my brother had dogs. I've had dogs up until I say 1998. Even my neighbors when I moved up here had dogs. Guy across the street's got a Mastiff. I don't get to see it as often.
Right.
But whenever I see it, you damn well better believe I'm going over to pet that dog. I've come in from outside. This is when they had their first Mastiff. Hamilton be out there laying in the driveway. I get off work, pull up in the driveway, get out, go over, pet the dog, roll around on the ground with him, wrestle, whatever. Come inside and wife goes, Hamilton's outside, huh? Come in covered in dog hair. Wouldn't bother me in the least.
Right.
And if I got a dog, it would be a Labrador.
Oh, labs are such beautiful dogs.
To me, there is, well, I
Black.
might get a Rottweiler, but I'd rather have a lab.
I would rather have a black lab than a golden, but a golden lab would be my second choice of the lab family.
Black lab, champagne lab, chocolate lab in that order.
So,
But I would black lab all the way.
I don't know that much about the champagne and chocolate labs, but I know what black labs are like, and I know what golden labs are like.
Yeah, we had two black
I've
labs.
lived with both.
We had a half lab, half shepherd, and then we had a full-fledged papered, like 8th generation dog.
I don't know if I'd ever wanted a purebred, to be honest.
We got both of our Labradors, I won't say by accident. Our first lab, I'm trying to remember how we got it because I was so young.
All right.
I honestly, I can't remember how we got it, but somehow we bred her one time for the School for the Blind down in Florida, the Southeastern Guide Dog Association. One litter. And donated all the puppies. It's a great thing. Absolutely wonderful.
Right.
Well, then we had to put our dog down. She got old. And we probably went a year, maybe 2 years. And it wasn't right. Well, one of my mother's friends felt really bad and got with the School for the Blind or someone related to the School for the Blind. They gave my mother a puppy on the condition that she would breed the dog one time and donate the puppies. That was how she got the dog. Then we said, we will do that on the condition that we can keep one puppy. So we can give it to a friend on the condition they breed that dog one time and donate the puppies to the school. And that has been a tradition with the school now for 40 years. We will take a litter of puppies, but you keep one to give to someone else on the condition they breed the dog one time. That way, the school always has puppies coming.
Right.
And I can't tell you how awesome that feels to be a part of that. And that's why I want a black lab.
And on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream.
That's a good spot. Happy high note.
Yep, happy high note, and it also, it's the right note for the season.
Sure.
So
giving. Give.
Yep. I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening to us ramble here today.
And ramble we did.
And listen to me rant about that woman and about and about the way my wife was treated.
and about the way your wife was treated.
So everyone, y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Thursday be the next scheduled stream because I've got to work tonight.
I feel
And
for you.
y'all do not want to listen to me when I'm half asleep. You do not want me to fall asleep while streaming, which I would probably do. So everybody try to have a good one. We'll see you on Thursday. Enjoy yourselves. Stay out of trouble. And as always, be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. Later, all.
Later.